Alright, hello everyone. Just wanted to take a minute here to show everyone my pack now that I got it complete. I've been working on it since just after Halloween when we were able to get these spirit packs on sale super cheap from Spirit's after Halloween sale. I got the wand a little bit before Halloween, maybe mid-October, maybe towards the beginning of October, and I've been planning on it and working on it and taking everyone's advice from the page. So here's what I got. First, you're not crazy and this thing, the camera isn't backwards. I am left-handed, so the wand is installed on the other side for me. It worked out nicely. It is a basic spirit pack that I stripped everything down off of and repainted to begin with. 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of black satin, and then dry brush weathering on everything. If I was going to do it again, I would probably have done the 2 coats of primer and then a coat of aluminum and then the coats of black, and then just kind of scraped off the black to get to the aluminum underneath to give it more of a weathered down effect. But I'm happy with how that turned out. Let me grab the camera here to bring it in a little bit. The upgrade pack is Ghostlabs Spongefaces. All the stickers came from Moby Sign Company. The red lenses in here are also from part of the Spongeface upgrade pack. But if you can see behind it, I've got the Dollar Tree LED flashlight lenses. What else? The light and sound kit is Frankengeek's, and this is Frankengeek's brand new kit that has the fading cyclotron lights we'll get to in a second. The wand obviously is a Spengler Wand. Get that off real quick. Did a couple of upgrades to it, as you can see. Did the auxiliary mod. Replaced the back grip. The back grip here came from Zander on Etsy, and then it's just hockey tape going on it. Was not quite brave enough to gut all the insides to pull out the plastic piece here, so I just took a Dremel and worked it out as much as I could, and I kind of like the damaged look that it has there. And so let's take a look here. If we go on the back side, typical Rothko frame here. The spacers in between here, instead of using PVC, let's see if I can get it there. You can see. All they are is sprinkler risers. So a 30-cent sprinkler riser. Let's see if we can get in there maybe from, there we go. Where is the camera looking at? There we go, right there. This is just a 30-cent sprinkler riser, so I cut it 3 times and worked out perfectly. MDF motherboard on the back. One sheet of motherboard allowed me to try 3 times, and I made 3 different motherboards, and the third one being the best one, so that's what I went with. So let's take a look now with, oh, also 2 holes in here. Didn't really want to make any additional holes in the motherboard, but ultimately needed to for power reasons. So one right here to turn on the power, and one right here for the other Bluetooth speaker that's inside here.
Power on. Bluetooth connected.
Now if I go back this way, boot it on up, and you can see Frankengeek's new board here with the fading cyclotron lights, the constant hum that's on. Now I did cover the speaker holes of the spirit pack. I used a little JB Weld plastic there and sanded it down. I ended up replacing the small speaker with Frankengeek's upgraded speaker in that exact same spot. I wanted it to go a little higher and go elsewhere. It ended up not working because of the other Bluetooth speaker that I use. I'll show you a little bit of that when we get into the inside of the pack. But that's how it looks. You can see the Dollar Tree lenses behind there add that great little glow there. And then also, this is the red light that was from the Spirit Wand that I just rerouted and put there. Then we've got the sound kit for the music. Everyone knows the music, back to the constant hum. And then the Spengler Wand here is going to an external Bluetooth and auxiliary speaker in there. It's really, really loud. I'm not sure on this video if you'll be able to really tell the difference or not. this off, and then I'll kind of show you what I did in the back here. A lot of different ways to mount the motherboard on here. What I ended up doing was that I think I had just one small stroke of genius, and instead of using screws the entire time, I actually just sank hanger bolts inside here. So now I can just undo the little wing nuts on all four sides, and instead of having to poke new holes in wood every time I screwed it back on and had to try and line up the motherboard and guess where it needs to go, these hanger bolts make sure that the motherboard goes on perfectly every single time, or at least goes right back into the exact same place, so it lines up where the other holes are for the power, for the Talon cell battery and the Bluetooth, and we can just lift that right up, and the Alice frame comes right on it, and that's as perfect as I can possibly make it there. Then we go into the guts here. Here is Frankengeek's new board, and that you'll see here that there is a auxiliary here for the Spengler Wand if you wanted to go through the speaker, the extra upgraded speaker that he includes. I did go with my own external one, and the only reason I ended up going with that is because I already had it. I had already purchased it, not thinking about doing it through here to begin with, and then I can keep the constant hum from his kit rather than having to go from the constant hum from the Spengler Wand, which, you know, shuts off after time and you'd have to keep redoing it. But trust me when I tell you, if you plug the Spengler Wand into this auxiliary and use it for that speaker, it is super loud and far much louder than the startup sounds or the music that comes out of that speaker. It is easily is equivalent to as loud as that speaker as what pumps through that little auxiliary. So definitely give it a try if you can. And so I did what a couple other people I saw did and glued the wood blocks in here, and that's what I sank the hanger bolts into. Another note on the ribbon cable on the other side. Now this was the Spirit Pack that I got. I ended up having to cut a hole right here and then feed the ribbon cable through it. There wasn't one to begin with. It was just glued on the old, you know, stock small one was glued on the other side. So I ended up having to cut a hole, shove the ribbon cable through, and then hot glue it down, which you can't tell at all because of the gray piece that blocks it. And then I just, you know, a little cord maintenance, putting everything underneath here. The battery just sits here. This sits here. I do have still a hole in the side here where the Spirit Wand would attach. Originally, I was thinking about using that for some kind of power management, being able to run a power cord through there. But since I got this wood block here, I can't do that. So maybe I'll end up installing something to hold the trap or something there. Same thing with the original hole that the wand went through. See, I got the pond hose here going over onto the left side, and then here's the auxiliary cord here. I didn't fill this hole on the right side because, you know, someday my little daughter might want to use it, and I might have to redirect the hose to the right side for her. And then I was also thinking power management, but I think you know, these batteries in here should last more than enough, and it's no trouble at all now to take this pack off. The other one, last thing that I wanted to note on here, and I already put a little zip tie on where the pond hose connects, because the pond hose does connect to where the Spengler Wand's additional adapter piece goes, but it's not perfect and it needs a little bit of help. And what I did is when I ran the auxiliary, I did what I saw some other people do, and I just ran the auxiliary right inside here so it was flush and just enough room to stick out. But then I found when I needed to take the battery off, it twisted the wire because you're actually twisting the entire auxiliary. It made it really brittle. I ended up breaking the solder off of one prong at one point. So I ended up boring a hole all the way through, running the auxiliary connection to about right here. And instead of using 22 gauge wire, I used just an old Ethernet wire that I stripped and took apart to get two little pieces of. And then I put it right about here, and that way when I take this off to get to the battery, to change out the batteries or whatever, it doesn't have a problem twisting up. And the solder connection point is here. It's fine. You know, probably don't have to take that off very often, but it's now strong enough that I'm not gonna have to worry about it. Also didn't cut off the old Spengler wood stock underneath there. I just covered it in the tape. But that's it. So thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who helped along the way. I'll post this with some other information and a longer list of thank yous for everyone, but hope you enjoyed it.